My name is Anna, and I'm 25 years old. My husband is 40. We have been married for 4 years and have a small son who is 3. We used to be very close, very happy. But now, something is different. For the last 3 or 4 months, my husband has changed. He comes home from work, eats dinner, watches TV, and then sleeps. On weekends, he goes to meetings, plays golf, or stays in his home office. He says he is busy. He is the boss at work and manages many people. I used to help him with documents and money, but now I stay home with our child. He doesn't let anyone help him anymore. He says he doesn't trust anyone. We used to have small traditions. Every night, we drank Chinese tea together. We talked, we laughed, we looked at each other with love. Now, there's only silence. No tea, no talks, only TV, only sleep. Last week, I sent our son to my mother's house because I wanted to be alone with my husband. I thought maybe he just needed rest, maybe he just needed time. But that night, he came home, ate, and went to bed without speaking to me. The next morning, he left early. It was the weekend, but he didn't stay. I sat in the kitchen alone. My tea was cold. My heart was cold too. I felt like a stranger in my own home. That night, I made a big decision. I had to talk to him. I couldn't live like this anymore. I waited for him. I made his favorite dinner. I wore the dress he once said he loved. I put on a little makeup and did my hair. He came home late again, looking tired. He sat down, ate quietly, and didn't even notice my dress. My heart beat fast. I was nervous, but I had to speak. I had to know. I looked at him and said softly, "Can we talk?" He looked surprised. "Now?" he asked. "Yes," I said. "Please." We sat on the couch. I tried to stay calm. I didn't want to fight or cry, but my eyes were already full of tears. I said, "You have changed. We don't talk anymore. You don't smile at me. You don't even see me." He looked down and said nothing. I waited, then asked the hardest question of all. "Do you still love me?" He looked at me, his eyes tired. "Of course I do," he said. "I'm just tired. Work is hard. I have too much stress." I nodded, but I didn't fully believe him. So, I asked the question I never wanted to ask. "Is there someone else?" He looked shocked. "No, never," he said quickly. "I'm just busy. I don't have time for anything. My head is full. But I love you. I need you to be patient." He touched my hand. "Please wait a little longer. I'll try to change." I wanted to believe him, so I said, "Okay, I will wait." But deep in my heart, I still felt alone. The days passed, then weeks, but nothing changed. He still came home late. He still ate in silence. He still looked tired and distant. I tried to smile. I tried to be patient. I reminded myself, he said he loves me. He said he'll try. I cleaned the house, I played with my child, I even planned a weekend away for just the two of us. But when I asked him, he said, "Not now. I have meetings. Maybe next month." That night, I sat in the dark. The house was quiet, and only the sound of the clock ticked through the living room. I whispered to myself, why does love feel so lonely? I looked through old photos, pictures from our wedding, our first trip, photos of smiles, hugs, and laughter. Where did all of that go? One evening, I sent our child to my mother's again. I waited for my husband, hoping we could talk, but when he arrived, he went straight to his office. No hello, no smile, just a door that closed quietly behind him. I stood outside that door. I raised my hand to knock, but I stopped. My hand fell. I turned around and walked away. In the kitchen, I sat alone with a cup of cold tea, feeling like a stranger. Then a thought came to me, maybe he doesn't see me anymore. Maybe he forgot who I am. And for the first time, I began to wonder, is this still a marriage, or just two people living in the same house? I woke up early and looked at the empty space next to me in bed. He had already gone to work. No kiss, no goodbye. I stared at the ceiling for a long time, my heart feeling tired. Not angry, not loud, just tired. That evening, I waited by the door. When he came in, I smiled. "Do you want to go for a walk?" I asked softly. He looked at me, tired and cold. "Not now, Anna. Maybe later." I nodded, but something inside me broke quietly. That night, while he worked in his office, I packed a small bag for myself and our child. I left a note on the table. "You said to wait." I waited. I waited with love, patience, and tears. Now I need to find myself again. I'm not leaving forever, but I can't stay invisible anymore. I closed the door gently behind me. Outside, the night was cool. I held my child's hand, and we walked into the quiet dark, not away from love but toward healing. One quiet evening, after putting my son to bed, I walked into the living room. My husband had left his phone on the table and gone to take a shower. I wasn't planning to look, I really wasn't, but the screen lit up. It was a message from a woman. It said, "I miss you. Did you think about me today?" My hands started shaking. My heart stopped. I didn't open the message. I didn't need to. Tears filled my eyes. Was this the reason he had changed? He came back into the room, smiling as if nothing had happened. I looked at him, really looked, and wondered how someone I loved so much could make me feel so small. I wanted to scream, I wanted to cry, but I stayed quiet because I was scared of the answer. Scared that if I asked, it would all become real. That night, I lay in bed beside him. He slept peacefully. I cried silently, my heart breaking into 1,000 pieces. I had given him everything, my love, my time, my youth, my life. And he was giving his attention to someone else. The next morning, I didn't cry or shout. I just sat at the kitchen table, holding a cup of cold tea. When he walked in, he looked at me and said, "Good morning." I didn't answer. He didn't notice. He left for work. All day, my heart felt heavy. I watched my son play and I smiled for him, but inside, I was broken. That evening, I sat alone again and made a choice. Not because I wanted to destroy my family, but because I needed to save myself. I waited until he came home and asked him to sit down. My voice was calm but firm. "I saw a message," I said. He was silent. I continued, "I gave you 4 years of my life. I trusted you. I still want to believe you, but I can't live like this." He didn't try to deny it. He only said, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you." And that's when I knew it was real. The distance, the silence, the pain. I stood up. "I need time," I said, "to think, to breathe, to feel like myself again." That night, I packed a small bag and took my son to my mother's house. It hurt more than anything. But sometimes, love isn't enough. Sometimes, choosing yourself is the bravest thing you can do. Thank you for listening to this story. If you enjoyed it and want to hear more emotional and simple stories, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Story Fluent. I share true feelings, easy English, and real-life stories to help you learn and feel every word. I'll be waiting for you in the next story. If you enjoy the story, please like, subscribe, and share.